ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is a great pleasure and honor to deliver the dinner address on the 28th Asia-Pacific Roundtable. On behalf of the Chinese Embassy in Malaysia, I give my warmest congratulations to the successful convening of these prestigious events. My heartfelt gratitude goes to the Dato Professor Dr. Faiz and his highly competent team for extending me the invitation and providing us a great platform to gain the wisdom and the insights. Thank you. Being the most populous and economically vibrant areas in the world, Asia's development goes beyond its own region, which is largely shaping global geopolitical evolution and humanity's progress. What kind of a place we want to be? How to shape Asia's future? These weighty questions required serious pondering. I would like to share my perspective in 4 points. First, we want Asia to be a place of peace and tranquility. Suffering long from the colonization and the wars, people of Asia cherished dearly the hard-earned gift of peace. Peace outweighs all, living in harmony despite the differences. Being lovely and kindly to the others are deeply rooted and shared by the Asian people. Peaceful and tranquil at large, Asia today is challenged by a tough situation. Some countries outside of the region want to be perfect from the making Asia a confrontation place. It aggressively pushed forward the Indo-Pacific strategy, fed up the China threat propaganda, and even stationed the Typhoon missile system in the region by the coaxing one of the region's countries, aiming to set up another NATO in the Asia. Are frequently meddlers in the South China Sea and other regional affairs. This country also provoked the escalations of the Israel-Palestinian conflicts and the intensification of the Israel-Iran fighting, continually adding the risks and the tensions to the region. In face of such adversities, we should be firm in pursuing the Asian vision of the common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security, and strive for the common development based on the extensive consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits. We should be vigilant on the moves which might jeopardize the regional peace and security, and take collective measures to counter them. We should do everything we can to ensure the Asia of the continued peace and stability. China will unswervingly take the path of the peaceful development and be the dedicated builder and the protector of the regional peace. However strong China may become, it will never be the hegemony to impose the wills to others. Asia cannot prosper without a peaceful and stable South China Sea. China is committed to observing international laws, including UNCLOS, and staying loyalty to the statements made in the DOC, that is, declarations on the conduct of the parties in the South China Sea. China is firmly in handling differences with the countries concerned through dialogue and consultation, and actively expanding practical maritime cooperation. Now, China has signed the intergovernment consensus document on the maritime joint development with Indonesia, initiated bilateral dialogue on the maritime issues with Malaysia, realizing a full coverage of the institutional dialogue with all the maritime issues concerned countries. This year is a critical year for the COC consultation. China is willing to strengthen communication and coordination with the ASEAN countries to achieve more consensus and jointly bring an early conclusion to the COC to meet the 3 years schedule. With concerted efforts, we can make the South China Sea a sea of the genuine peace, friendship, and cooperation. Second, we want Asia to be a place of the mutual benefits and the win-win cooperation. Connected by the mountains and the rivers, ASEAN countries enjoy the complementary strengths and the shared interests. With joint efforts, the 21st century of Asia is becoming true. Just at this time, a new form of the economic hegemony loomed over Asia. Some countries have launched a global trade war out of the pure selfishness, which badly undermined the global economic order and the international community interests. The Asian wisdom tells us that one chopstick is easy to break, while 10 bonding together are as strong as the iron. In face of the economic hegemony, we should get united and support each other as one. We should expand it and deepen the comprehensive coordination and the win-win cooperation. Formally, upholding the WTO-centered multilateral trading system, steadily promoting an equal and orderly multipolarity, and collectively advocating a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization. We should implement RCEP with the high quality and ensure a timely signing and implementation of the China-ASEAN Free Trade Areas 3.0. We should make full use of the ASEAN Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, the Silk Road Fund, and other financing platforms, and created a new growth point is green development, blue economy, digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and people-to-people exchange. China formally supports ASEAN centrality. Not long ago, Premier Li Qiang came to Malaysia to attend the first ASEAN GCC China Summit, a pioneering move to boost the regional connections and economic cooperation. Bringing the growth opportunities to the three parties, this summit also added a great deal to the global peace and stability. Third, we want Asia to be a place of the openness and the connectivity. The idea of the open gate to integrate it with the world underlined Asia's success as the world's most dynamic region. Promoting free trade to realize the economic integration, advocating joint development by connecting one another, and making friends with an open mind are some of the recipes making the Asia miracle come true. Now, some countries wanted to cover its own governance failures by scapegoating others. It constructed a small yard with high fences and advocate decoupling and breaking chains, seriously undermining the healthy flow of the global production and the supply chains and the global economic development. President Xi Jinping pointed out, snuffing out others' candles does not bring the more light. Blocking others' paths will only end up blocking his own. China is a consistent support of the globalization and the cooperation, who makes openness over isolation, cooperation over confrontation, and a mutual win over zero sum. By April of this year, China has signed the BRI Joint Construction Cooperation Agreements with the 25 regional countries and become the largest trading partner of the 18 countries. The completed Jakarta, Bandung, and the China-Laos Railways, the in-progress East Coast Rail Link, and the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor are but a few of the landmark BRI projects, where it has intensively enhanced the regional connectivities and keep adding to Asia's weight to the global economy. We should adhere to open regionalism and genuine multilateralism. We should deepen the development integration, build a high-level connectivity network, and strengthen industrial and supply chains cooperation. We should speed up building the free trade areas of the Asia-Pacific and keep furthering regional economic integrations. An open and interconnected Asia will invigorate global economic growth. Fourth, we want Asia to be a place of the inclusiveness and harmony. Home around 50 countries, over the 1,000 ethnic groups, and 100 plus languages, Asia learned the wisdom of living in harmony amid differences. Asian people honored peace, cooperation, openness, and inclusiveness as the core values, on top of which the unique Asian model of the 5 principles of the peaceful coexistence, Bandung spirits, and ASEAN way has been put forward to guide country-to-country relations, providing the philosophy foundation of the ASEAN miracles. Driven by the ignorance and arrogance, some countries provoked ideological bias and varied confrontations in the region. In face of this, we should get wisdom and confidence from our civilization and wisdoms, and make our diversity an inexhaustible source of the power by the Asian forward. We should respect each other, be open and inclusive, and make collective decisions on the consensus in dealing with the country-to-country relations. We should seek common ground while sharing differences, diverging in the opinion and interest. We should assist one another in times of the need and the difficulties as brothers and sisters, and enhance the people-to-people exchange to tie the bonds. Ladies and gentlemen, China attached a priority importance to developing relations with the neighboring countries. Not long ago, the Central Conference on Work related to the neighboring countries was held in Beijing, on which President Xi Jinping pointed out, neighboring countries are the foundation in realizing development and prosperity. They are pivotal in ensuring national security of the top priority in designing the overall diplomacy, the key to advancing building the global economy with a shared future for mankind. Upholding the high building of the global community with a shared future for mankind, China is committed to fostering an amicable, security and prosperity neighborhood, and dedicated to build Asia a peaceful, safe and secure, prosperous, beautiful, and amicable home for all. China will also take the Asian values of the peace, cooperation, openness, and inclusiveness as the guidelines, and observe the principle of the amity, sincerity, mutual benefit, and inclusiveness in developing relations with the neighboring countries. Sharing will and war together, China will take risk together, seeking common ground while shaving the differences, and reach consensus through dialogues with the ASEAN neighbors. China will continue to expand high-quality BRI cooperation and proceed with its own modernizations to bring more benefits to the region and the world. China will keep injecting certainty and predictability into the global economy with its own steady and stable growth. With economic transformation and industrial upgrading accelerate, a new development patterns is taking shape in China, mainly driven by the domestic demand and science and technology innovation. The first quarter of this year has seen China's GDP growing by 5.4%, surpassing last year's 5% average growth rate. Over the past 5 years, domestic demand has contributed more than 80% to China's average economic growth. The added value of the three new economies, namely new industry, new business forms, and new business models, accounted for around 18% of China's GDP in 2024. China will keep providing development opportunities to the rest of the region by expanding high standard opening up. Being the largest trading partner of the 13 APEC economies, China contribute 64.2% to the Asia-Pacific economic growth. 2024 marked China's world's second largest import market for the 16 consecutive years, seeing the 2.3% increase than the previous one. It also witnessed a drastic slash of China's foreign investment negative list, from the 190 down to the 29 in the national version and the 27 to the free trade pilot zones version, leaving none in the manufacturing sector. Last year, 59,000 foreign investment companies established in China, seeing a 9.9% increase from the previous year. Going to China has become a trend embraced by the foreign companies. China has voluntarily expanded unilateral opening up, implementing the mutual visa exception with 25 countries and the unilateral visa exception with 38 countries. China has granted zero tariff on all the products from all the least developed countries having diplomatic relations with China. Dragged into the trade war, unilaterally launched by the United States, China took the decisive and resolute measures to protect its legitimate rights and interests. As a responsible power, China is opening to have the dialogues with the United States. The recent Geneva talks and the London consultation has well demonstrated China's commitments and broad-mindedness in resolving differences for the reaching consensus. Ladies and gentlemen, one small boat cannot withstand stormy waves. A giant ship with all the striving for the common goal can sail far, taking risk together to safeguard the peace, sharing the opportunities to promote the common development. Ship Asia will sail steady and far. Joint hands, we will make Asia a peaceful, safe and secure, prosperous, beautiful, and amicable home for all. I wish the 38th Asia-Pacific Roundtable a great success. I wish everyone a wonderful evening. Thank you. Thank you very much.